welcome back, guys. Round 2 of the Road to the Winter Cup here in Cardiff with the Cymru Cractois. We have from what I can tell, a pretty interesting chess match of a game between local heroes Reese and Dan. And I just want to take a second to shout out Dan, who, for those of you that have been following the FFTCG Europe page and are looking to go to the Winter Cup, has created a very good post about how you can travel here, how you can stay in our hometown of Cardiff, a couple of the places that we like to eat. So massive shout out to Dan. Do go check his post out.
Make sure to join the Discord to find all that information.
As well as that, yeah, join us on YouTube. Give us a like and subscribe if you would as well, that'd be great. And I would just like to say it's great to have Dan, star of the Mexican TV novella Wish for Love, with us tonight. You know, he's a great little celebrity to have along with us.
I also, you know what, I feel left out. I'm the only one that hasn't yet shouted out Dan, so I'm going to give a shout out to Dan and say that he hasn't bought Rue this week, so I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, that's sad actually, because as much as we love Dan, the dog is just cooler.
Yeah, not bringing Rue this week means our bechamel is ruined. What can you do? So, I say it's an interesting match. It's Sky Pies. And are the Sky Pies going to be sinking to the bottom of the deep blue sea? Because Reese, if I'm not mistaken, should be playing his patented blingy and mono water.
Yeah, baby. I mean, we did get a sneak preview into Dan's hand very quickly. We have got double backup straight away, and I believe that is the backup searcher he's got in hand, ready to go for next turn as well. So he's gonna be curving out very nicely.
And he's just pulled another philo by this. Oh, is that a kite?
That's a kite.
Yeah, gets getting rid of it early though.
Nope, he's got the Jot, which gets the Fran. This is what Sky Pies are off to the races, and this Fran never should be underestimated because it can churn out an insane amount of value if you can't ammy it or do anything you can to keep it in check.
I remember when that card first came out and everyone was like, it's in the wrong element, but it just doesn't seem to have mattered anymore.
They did that on purpose, 100%. If that card was wind water,
it doesn't do a wind water effect though, is the thing. No. It definitely has that earth part of it going. But the problem is at the moment is that, you know, he's got 3 backups, but he doesn't have any earth yet. So, you know, he's going to have to discard something to be able to play it. Seen a whacker come straight down as well from Reese, trying to fish for another backup, so he's probably going to go Princess Sarah here, right?
He's still trying to fish for a full art Princess Sarah, but there we go. I just saw the man buy 3 Glaciellas 20 minutes ago. Fair play, the card does look beautiful.
It does, but more money than I would like to part with for a card, that's for sure.
That being said, we know he has the Fran in hand. Fran obviously has great synergy with Balthea, with Penello, and not only that, there are some good other Cat 12 forwards that we could see. Bash is an obvious one that comes to mind. If you're going down the Headhunters route, the Gamnon and Co, the backups.
I believe is how it's pronounced.
What was that again, Jacob?
I believe his full name is pronounced Bagamnon.
Are you sure it's not Lord Rivendell Bagamnon III? Oh, it's a fiend. It's an early fiend into this matchup.
Sure, everyone knows what the fiend does, but just to remind you guys, this he's going to shut down all summons. Well, the first summon from every turn coming from Dan, which I don't know if we're going to see many summons. We've obviously seen a Chocobo.
This feels very much like a naked fiend. Like, we know the fiend's very powerful, but not in this situation, not in this matchup, and not at this time when he's not even on damage 3.
Exactly.
So, I can see a Penello, I can see a Bash. So he can play the Fran, because he can toss the Bash for it. I think that's what he's thinking about.
Yeah, it looks like it, because unless he's trying to find a way he can keep hold of the Bash to try and maybe secure more Earth CP for later, but
I'm just trying to see what the last 2 cards in his hand are. He's thinking about it.
Is that a Althea I see?
It's a Moogle. It's an Earth. It's the Wind Moogle that taps for Earth.
There we go. So he's got the Earth CP anyway. And for all those viewing at home, yes, we all did do the streamer lean and try to see what was in his hand. Just because Jacko's not here, guys, I am going to call it out anyway. So gutted for you.
It's the inquisitive stare as you lean in and you go, It's like when you're in that Solid Snake game and you're the guard and you just go, something's a little off here.
Don't see
Oh,
what
that
is.
is some glare.
Yeah.
That is I believe that's the Holy Spirit in card form,
Jesus!
actually.
One is here to break bread and some points of damage. So
EX burst, repent your sins.
And on the third damage, he rose.
oh god, it got biblical up in here quick.
I apologise. So, we have a newer introduction to Mono Water decks that's popped up recently, the Sahagin Chief.
Or as one Dan Preston of our local group calls it, Shanghai Chef. So let's see if it can cook up a storm for Reese in this game.
Obviously, this card is going to immediately be able to bounce one of Reese's own forwards at will if he chooses to. But obviously, it's going to have more monster counters as water characters enter, and eventually get to the point where it can bounce 2 of anything he bloody well likes.
Pretty strong, that is for sure, with the amount of characters that water is playing these days. So
We are finally going to see the Fran come down. We're going to see if he's going to be able to get much value out of it. I think Balthier is what you want into the kites. Obviously, no response from Reese this early on, unfortunately. So we're probably going to see dulling kites and Balthier to give Fran haste, I reckon.
He's got Pinello as well.
This is grim.
Is he at 5? I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's at 5.
Sometimes you draw Exodia.
Tamaj,
yeah,
Philo, Fran, Balthier, kites.
oh, yeah, that is pretty nasty.
I think we're going to need another 3 cards up on screen to actually, show you guys what's going on if you're unaware of these cards. But
So for those of you that remember playing in Wind Water Pirates, Pinello was the bane of... Oh, it's... I just...
Sith for the EX burst.
This is looking painful.
and a Gabranth, obviously, because what we're going to do next is we're going to... Oh, no, because that was the France thing, wasn't it? So, but if we need to, if Fran's going to die, we're just going to kites the Fran to replay it onto the field at the end of the turn, and then play the Gabranth to be able to search anything else we like.
Probably the van, right, at this point,
He doesn't need anything else, just grab the Van. I'm assuming it's the 4 CP Van, the mono wind one.
I was still thinking 6-drop multi-element, but...
Read the mono wind one, it does things.
I mean, what we could have done, I think he was thinking about it there for a second, was double discarding, because you've got another feeler in hand to be able to give Fran an extra attack this turn. So Fran obviously attacking that second time would allow her to play the Gabranth from hand as well. And the thing is, because Dan knows that he's playing into mono water, he's not afraid of any board wipes. You might hard cast a Leviathan here, but that's not going to do enough, I don't think, especially with the kites down ready to go.
We can't discount Reese out yet. No, it's mono water. He's got a lot of EXs in there that he could hit to stabilise a bit. He needs to ramp to 5. I see a Shinryu, I see a Garciela, I think I see a Lightning as well.
Actually, to be honest, I think it's
Lightning's
probably...
big.
If you've got the Shinryu, it's probably a Shinryu board wipe.
Yeah.
It's probably your best shout. But even then, again, because, kites is just going to allow Dan to replay that Fran back down.
Yeah. And the other thing is that Pinello is very much a pain because protection from abilities means the Lightning in the hand is dead.
Even the Glaciella, to be honest, you might be able to try and take a pot shot at something, but...
So, he has Shinryu, he can Shinryu a board wipe. There it is.
Yeah, it's probably his only way of staying in the game. He's still going to lose a lot of cards from this. Yeah, it costs 2, but
and the thing
effect.
is, Dan is still going to kites, probably save the Fran, and do all this all over again.
He could also save the Balthier and then just replay the Pinello that dies. He's got options.
Wow. Yeah.
We know he has the Gabranth, so the Fran does make a fair bit of sense.
I'm trying to think of Gabranth's targets here, because there's probably the 6 CP. No, it's a 4 CP Van he's going to be playing, isn't it? The Wind Legend rather than the Water Wind.
So if I see a 5 CP Cecil, I'm gonna flip the table.
Stranger Things, honestly.
So you're all right. Reese has gone for the Shinryu to attempt a S effect here by the looks of things.
it's going to be expensive. It's going to pretty much rinse his hand out.
Yeah, and I think Dan is absolutely okay with it.
He is.
You know, well, 6 CP, 8 if you include the extra Shinryu.
2 backups to 4.
Exactly. And again, he's got kites, so he's going to save at least one of his forwards. So.
And he can also get a free draw Pinello because, well, he's dying anyway. May as well take the free card.
Just for a bit of fun, why wouldn't you?
I hate Pinello.
Oh, mate. Absolute bane of my life. Glad that most people had stopped playing Sky Pirates. I did get a little bit of a twitch going on as soon as Dan said he was playing them, but thank God we're streaming and not playing him.
Sure. Pirates is one of those decks that you love to play and you hate playing against. There you go, he's gone for the Balthier, which means he gets the draw. Go on, take your free draw.
Yeah, draw first.
Or...
Oh, you're doing a take backsies.
We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
I think in my opinion, I think this version of Sky Pies, I don't think it's as bad. I think what ended up being really...
Oh, for God's sake.
Never punished.
Oh, no,
Never punished.
No.
That's a Tyro for free.
Can we get a rip in chat on that one, because that feels terrible.
I think Reese should have cut the deck better, honestly. I think that's all on him.
I think Reese should have cut Pinello in half, but there we go.
Quick, run him the scissors. There's still time.
Oh, it's just the Fran back. Fran.
No, not quite. He is
I think Fran has definitely done her job. I think it requires a bit more setup for Fran here, maybe he's thinking.
So this Van got fairly overlooked because, again, it did come out in the period of the dual colour Van, and that card was amazing. That card really was.
I mean, because I was trying to say earlier, obviously, before the Tyro interrupted us. But I think this version of Sky Pies isn't so bad because it is quite high rolly because you need the Fran targets and the Frans in hand simultaneously. It was with that the dual element Van, obviously, where it searches out the backup, so you immediately get your backup engine ready to go. But it was the target, so if you ever tried to kill the Pinello could then reactivate and then allow you to just, do whatever the hell you wanted.
And for everyone in chat, especially Sammy Naj, yes, that was a bit of Dan luck, but just like yours, when you lose on every stream, bro, I mean, come on.
Oh, Sammy's in chat. How is Marbella these days?
Also, everyone else in chat, let us know where you're coming from. Obviously, if you have any questions, we will try and get to them, but that will be depending on if we actually are paying attention.
So here we go. This
Paying a what now?
Paying a what?
Huh?
Who, what, when, where? Van says Sky Pirates can't be blocked by a forward that costs 3 or more. Pretty relevant for Fiend Shinryu. And when he enters the field, you can pay a wind when you do activate all Sky Pirates. When you pay a ward to choose a forward, it loses 2k for every Sky Pirates.
And do you know what he's doing in response? He's tapping everything down, or dulling everything down, to use the correct terms here, for Balthier's effect, which if you're not aware, is going to give things 2k in haste. So just giving everything haste as well, just for a bit of fun.
So I see a question in chat from Peppermint. What is the route to qualify / play at the Winter Cup?
It's your wallet.
You go to the Firestone website, you buy a ticket, you come to Cardiff and you turn up and you're in.
Not the Firestone website, it's actually the battlefields.co.uk.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, and buy some accommodation and join us for drinks on the night as well.
That's the most important part.
Yeah.
Get drunk with us.
I'm sure a bunch of us will be here Friday night, getting a lay of the land, sussing the scene.
Yeah, but honestly, tickets are on sale. I think there was a maximum ticket sale of around 160 mark.
It's
so
a lot. Yeah, it's going to be a party.
Yeah, Materia Cup we had 140-ish, I believe. So we always are on huge events, great people. Usually we see the guys from YYT coming down, which is always a great laugh as well. So join us.
Great food as well. I just had a bratwurst from the local kitchen and it was beautiful.
Yeah, big shout out to Freya, the kitchen manager. Always putting on some banging food up there.
There you go. There's one for you in the chat.
Can you stay at mine? I mean, sure, if you want to travel an hour and a half to Congwilly, feel free, guys. I won't be there, so I'll be staying in a hotel in Cardiff because I'm not a madhead.
Wait, Fish's house is empty. Free house!
Yeah.
Party!
If you want to hang out with my folks, feel free.
Anyway, we should probably get back to the game. So, Sahagin Chief is doing a thing. He's bouncing the... Ooh.
This is the Shinryu, I mean, at this point.
Does Sahagin say opponents?
So, Sahagin says, when originally bounce a forward you control only, but when it has 3 or more monster counters, it's bounce 2 of any forwards.
So he's gonna try the S effect again. Another 6 CP and the Shinryu that's gonna be going.
So I did notice Dan had a chocobo in his hand.
That he did.
He does.
But now he's going to decide what he's chocoboing, because a lot of good targets for the chocobo, really.
I mean, do you get the Balthier again, right?
It probably is the Balthier, and then you just take the free draw of the Pinello, because you're not stopping a Shinryu S. There's not much you can do.
I mean,
But at the same time, Reese has now spent 2 turns Shinryu S affecting and not building his board up at all.
This is
Still
not
stuck on 2 backups.
and we do know that
There it is.
one of the Lenners as well, which is potentially one of the outs from Reese's side of the board, is actually at the bottom of his deck now after the whacker from earlier. So as much as he has ditched the 9 CP Leviathan, I don't think we're going to see that on the field anytime soon.
I mean, we might, just not on Reese's field.
No, that's very true, because we do know that Dan has one himself.
I mean, that being said, we are getting quite close to Lena range here. How many are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we go. Yeah. So if we see a Lena, then we could potentially be gravy and go forward with that.
He saw the water backup as well that plays for free, and it's so unfortunate that he's seen both of those when he's had to pay for them, because you want to be seeing those as your 4th and 5th backups to just ramp for free. It's very much unfortunate on Reese's part, insane on Dan's part. I mean, Shinryu is literally the only reason Reese is still in this game.
Card is played for a reason, I guess,
I'm quite shocked as well. Usually we have Mrs. Reese join us when Reese is actually on stream. We don't, I believe, have her with us today. I could be wrong, no.
Might just be lurking.
It's fine, I'll be Mrs. Reese for the evening. Go get him, honey!
Get in line, mate.
While we're waiting to see, obviously, the results of Dan's search on Tyro, again, another Fran. We do
Hello,
have
Mrs.
Reese.
Reese.
Hey, welcome back. Obviously, again, if you are going to be joining us for Winter Cup, check out the Euro page or our Discord. Dan has put up some great information about where to stay if you do need some accommodation. So,
I'm just going to apologise on Fish's behalf for not recognising you after you show up time after time, showing your undying loyalty to us. You're not even recognised in chat. I think that's incredibly pitiful.
I can't remember names at the best of time. Who are you two again?
I'm
You
Steve.
don't want to know.
Oh, welcome, Steve. I appreciate you joining me here in this lovely stream.
Alright, I thought
Please
I was
don't
here to
steal my
fix a carpet.
man. Unfortunately, you've requested that a little too late, I'm afraid.
Please don't steal it. Oh, we can make no such promises. We can make no such promises.
Unfortunately, when you come to the Firestorm building, you see a hammer and a sickle on the doorway, knowing that everyone's for everyone here.
Yeah, but apparently someone does actually believe they are a communist, so we will leave that lie, I guess.
Alright, how do we deal with this? We got a Shinryu. We can't affect anymore, so I'm pretty sure we've used all our fodder.
Yes, we have 2 Shinryu S effects in one game. Very rare to see. And Dan able again to go wide. I think Dan could be hurting for another kites though, just to protect that board a little bit.
His Pinello's costing 1, which is actually pretty annoying.
But he does have that backup in hand he can discard for CP if required.
But it's one of those little psychological things where you would almost rather Pinello cost 2 just so you don't feel bad about discarding for the effects. It's like it's a minor thing, it's insignificant, but it's one of those little gut feelings.
You do got to feel bad for Reese here, not hitting the best of EX bursts, especially where Water has some pretty good EX bursts and just, only seeing a...
There's a Kukulane in there.
Kukulane, yeah, getting the draw, that's about it.
Maybe he does actually have Lena in hand though, because he is counting his break zone.
I mean, is there a Leviathan in there? I'm assuming there is.
There was. He did discard on the second Shinryu. So,
But we are seeing one Leonard in damage as well, if as the third damage. So we need to have seen the second one.
Problem is, what's Leviathan do against Pinello?
Yeah, because Pinello's just going to make something untargetable.
It is, which is going to result in a neg, and it's weird. I think Dan should have discarded instead of dulling his backups to play a safer board, because then he leaves backups up for the Balthea buff, which means he's less susceptible to the Leviathan. That being said, it's his turn.
Yeah, we just hit 10 minutes on time as well, so we're getting going to be getting to the end of this game regardless, and Reese not doing a whole lot to bring back the board state, unfortunately.
it looks like Dan's got another van in hand.
2 cards in hand. The most you can pay for is 5, so you're not even going to be getting a 6 EP Leviathan here. Is there anything we can really... anything else we can do instant speed at the moment? Because at this point, do we just play... We could half-cast the Leviathan or just play the Van here.
No, just play the Van.
Reduce the Shin. Get another haste in as well with the Balthea, and I think that... there's not a whole lot else you can do, is there?
Yeah, it looks like it's all she wrote, folks.
I mean, we're spinning cards around like a record. There's the Shinryu.
And here goes the first one.
Numero uno.
Damage 6. No EX.
Sarah.
Although I don't know what EX base you could possibly hope for to stave off potentially 4 attacks. And there's a bash just to end it. Good game. It felt like a very slow start for Reese, and having to Shinryu S effect twice in one game.
2 turns in a row and it still wasn't enough. That's a much better username. Thank you very much for the clarification there.
Oh god.
I appreciate it because now I'll never forget.
Oh god, that's actually accurate.
I mean, I always forget who Jacob and Taylor are when they come in, and they're always in here taking a piss, so,
So, Dan won. I think we got a little sidetracked at the end. Congratulations, Dan. Once again, do check out his posts on all social media forums, including our Discord. Please do go there. We'll grab Dan in a second to have a quick chat with him.
Yeah.
We will.
And maybe we'll get a little advice on the local area, see what other pearls of wisdom he can part with us.
Absolutely. Let's be right back, guys.
Okay, and we're back here now with our round 2 winner, Mr. Dan. How's it going?
Yeah, really good fun. Turns out Sky Pirates are board wipe resilient and very fun.
Mate, you played through 2 Shinryu S effects there, that was pretty impressive. But it felt like from turn 3 you had that game unlocked, because your opening was pretty good as far as pirates go.
Yeah, I did delay. My normal tactics would be to go in hard. I did delay that this time in favour of getting more backups, which I just felt then from that point onwards was just get more.
Yeah.
I think it was
if you can't go hard, then you just carry on going instead. So.
absolutely.
There was an interesting point. I think it was the first Shinryu boards wipe where you had the kites on board, and we were having the little debate between us about whether you kite the Balthea or the Fran. So what made you choose the Balthea in that situation?
So in my testing, I've generally found that getting Fran is more explosive, but you're relying on what you draw off the top. But getting Balthea, especially with the Pinello in the break zone, is more consistent and more better on average. So I knew against Mono Water, obviously they'll try and take me into the long game. So I'd rather have Pinello, which can take me into the long game, than Fran that will hit the field and maybe not see as many explosive cards that can keep pushing things out. Plus that 2k in haste is...
It's very good.
We should utilise that many times as well with the Varney TB.
Yeah.
Just being able to go, hey, here's 4 forwards, and by the way, they all have haste now.
Honestly, that card has been so underrated. We were testing with my friends and they were like, you need to play the 6 EP, you need to play the 6. And it's like, no, this 4 is it's slept on.
We were saying the exact same thing, because the 4 drop did come out in a period where the 6 EP was reigning prevalent and was in pretty much the win wall to Sky Pirates. But that Van does put a lot of work. What other matchups do you see that it could help you out in?
That's a tough one. I've only just started taking this deck seriously and properly testing with it as of last week. But I find that he's very good in earth matchups and water matchups, generally where the curve is higher and they've got bigger things at the top end, because Turns out being able to say all your Sky Pirates can't be blocked by 3 or less, you just go under everything. Normally I'd get stonewalled by like a Galoof or a Titan, but instead now they present those and I'm like, it's cool, I can't deal with him, so I'm just going to go under him. And it then no longer becomes a problem.
Yeah, so I mean, because I when that card first got out, the Fran, I did play that deck for quite a bit, and it does seem it could be very inconsistent at times, because especially with the Fran, where it's not just you need the Fran, but you need the right colours and you need the right targets to play off of the Fran.
Yeah.
So I think that's why the 6 CP one was definitely played more frequently, especially in a high level environment, because that card was literally just a consistency on a stick, right?
Yes,
but
absolutely.
whereas this Fran, I definitely agree with you. I think it suits this deck a hell of a lot better, because it just kind of, you know, when you finish playing all your stuff with the Fran, it's a nice finisher. It
Yes.
allows you to kind of knock yourself over the edge. So no, I do
absolutely.
agree with that. Yeah, in terms of bad matchups, what do you think it struggles with mostly?
I think monster decks have been a notorious pain in my ass. That's why you saw Yazimat in the break zone, because there are times where I think you may have seen it turn 3 or 4. I just have a wealth of cards in my hand.
Yeah.
So dropping 9 CP on that doesn't feel too awful.
Sure.
I've also teched a one-of backup King Tycoon in there just to bounce all the monsters. I don't know if it's Cardiff or if it is in general.
It is a Cardiff thing.
Monsters have been the bane of my existence for the last 3 weeks.
Honest to God, no, you're absolutely right, because I personally played Mono Earth monsters as well, which got me into Euros, and yeah, it's so difficult to deal with, especially as well with a lot, you know, my personal experience with Earth. You're spending 1 CP on a monster that can do a lot of work. Even if you do commit to killing it, chances are if you've killed it, well then I've gotten more value, or I'm spending 1 CP on it rather than however much you're spending on it.
Yeah, breaking a 1 CP zombie just feels bad no matter what does it, because you've spent always more than that 1 CP zombie.
9 CP or 0 CP because you get the card back from it.
Yeah.
So who comes out on top there?
It's horrible.
It's a very, very good indication about how local metas can develop within communities, because I don't know what the London or the Scottish or the Northern guys are playing, but everyone that can play Wind is playing King Tycoon now in our meta, just because it's the cheapest, quickest answer that you have to monsters that just happens to be searchable.
Yeah. I tell you what was funny, because in London, I think it might have been Steve or somebody had unironically sleeved a copy of Sin, the one where you break all 4s on monsters and take a damage. Because how else are you going to deal with a board swarmed of monsters? There's no other card which does it, apart from, of course, the Neo X Death that's coming out next set. I mean, that card is...
Looking forward to that.
He's a dench boy. He's definitely hitting them protein bars.
Oh, 100%. But I think during building this deck, I went on FFTCG and I just typed break monster, and I just started sifting through everything. It was
struggling, to be honest.
Rama, not good enough.
No.
We need more.
Yep, we need stuff that puts those away for good at a good rate.
Sure.
Well, to round this off, I mean, obviously you're a local lad, and we did shout out your post that you did within the community.
Thank you very much for that.
Let's just grab a quick pub and a quick restaurant recommendation that some of these guys can look forward to when they come to Cardiff for the Winter Cup.
So, my restaurant recommendation, not even like a question about it, is Matsudai Ramen in Grangetown. It's an area I used to live close to, and it was around the corner from me. It's not far from Firestorm, I think a 12-minute walk. Award-winning ramen. Uncle Roger even did a video with him to shout
Did he
out.
actually?
Yes, he did. It's got that much of a reputation.
this.
I'll send it to you right after this. So even Uncle Roger shouted this place out. Best, most authentic ramen I've had in Cardiff, and I've been a chef for 12 years now, and every time I've gone there, it's slapped. And if you can get the karage chicken, it's like double fried chicken with a little curry mayo. It's beautiful. As for pubs, I don't go to many pubs often myself, but I started going to Tiny Rebel recently because they're like local-ish, and I'm not much of a beer drinker. I'm more whiskey and rum myself, but Tiny Rebel have some... Yeah. Tiny Rebel have some like really good fruity beers at the moment. There was a peach cobbler one I had the other day, and being sat in the sun with that peach cobbler was just, get that.
Well, I will also back Tiny Rebel. Best brewery that you can find in Wales.
It's lovely. It really is. And the food there's actually pretty good as well. Like, as far as pub food goes, it's a very good quality.
Do you try the wings?
Yes.
They're good.
Yeah.
They're good.
The buffalo wings, Mwah.
Right, well, that'll do us for this. Thank you so much for joining us,
No,
Dan.
thank you very
and
much,
we'll
guys.
catch you guys in 5 minutes for round 3.
Take it easy, guys.